Hey everybody, Ace Channel Liam here and welcome to another episode of MetroMania. For those who aren't aware, MetroMania is an ongoing 16 Pokemon Metronome-only double battle tournament to determine the MetroMania Champion, and this season is all about Alolan forms. If you're a fan of MetroMania already and you're ready for more, make sure you hit the like button, show you're enjoying the series, and of course hit the subscribe button if you're new so you never miss an episode. The heats are drawing to a close now. It is Heat 8, the final of the Season 6 heats. We've been going for 7 weeks so far. This is the 8th week. We are about to finalize the quarterfinals, but of course, before we get into today's battles, it's time to look at the brackets. Last week, we saw Sandshrew absolutely dominant over Vulpix. Vulpix got a little bit of trickery off in the first round, just to kind of show up Sandshrew a little bit, but Sandshrew just proved its physical prowess was just too much for the very physically fragile Alolan Vulpix. So we say goodbye to Vulpix as Sandshrew moves on to the quarterfinals. The last place in the quarterfinal is going to be found out this week. We're going to find out which Pokemon is going to be Sandshrew's opponent as we see Alolan Marowak take on Alolan Graveler. As I say, there's just one more place in the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals start next week, but we got one more stop on the road as we watch these two Pokemon throw down. So here we go, it's Alolan Marowak versus Alolan Graveler for the last place in our quarterfinals. Metromania Heat 8, God, it's flown by. 8 weeks has flown by massively quick, hasn't it? Jesus. Wow, I just realized I'm recording this in like early October and Sword and Shield will be out by the time this video goes up. So I hope you're enjoying it, lads. I hope you're enjoying Sword and Shield. I definitely am. Here we see Rage coming out from the regular Marowak to start things off. Not very effective on Shiny Graveler there. What will the Shiny Alolan Marowak do as a follow-up? It's going to go for Haze and eliminate the stat changes that aren't there. So not the greatest start from the Marowak team, if I'm completely honest. What's the Graveler team going to do here? With that rock typing, it really could be a dangerous one in this battle. We're going to see Leer come out, which is going to lower the defense by one stage of each of these Alolan Marowak. Doesn't that Shiny Graveler look a bit like poo with sweet corn in it? Am I the only one that sees that? Bet you can't unsee it now. Here we go with regular Graveler going for a Fire Spin on a Fire type. Not the greatest of moves, but of course the Fire Spin is going to damage that Marowak at the end of each turn. The Rage is building, but there's the Fire Spin damage, which will do a set amount of damage to Marowak at the end of each turn. Not good for Alolan Marowak right now. Graveler in quite a good place, although this really could go either way at this point. Both these Pokemon are gagging to get into the quarterfinals as we see Confusion come out from regular Alolan Marowak. Of course, Graveler not known for its special defense, so the special attack is probably the best place to be for the Alolan Marowak team. They really need to focus on special attacks, although not normal type ones. They're probably not the best idea with that tri-attack. And here is Shiny Graveler, who's going to go for Quick Attack, which of course doesn't affect the Ghost type Marowak. Marowak, of course, has a little bit of an advantage with it being completely immune to fighting and normal type moves. We see Smokescreen come out from the regular Graveler there onto the regular Marowak, lowering that accuracy, which is going to play in favor of the Alolan Graveler team. There's more Fire Spin damage on that Marowak. It's still pretty even. Turn 2 ends with still a pretty even split in this battle, so really could go either way. Both these Pokemon looking to face the Alolan Sandshrew in the quarterfinals. Here we see Bind. Of course, we've seen a lot of Bind users in this Metromania. It's just a nice, comfortable, surefire way to deal a lot of progressive damage throughout the battle while you focus on getting your offense together. Here's Shiny Marowak, who is going to go for another Confusion onto that regular Graveler there. Not going to do a great deal of damage, but they're slowly chipping away at regular Graveler. A Shiny Graveler looks to retaliate with a Rolling Kick, which isn't effective against Marowak because, of course, Marowak is immune to those moves. And here's the regular Graveler who's going to go for Gust, which will actually hit Marowak, just not for a great deal of damage because the special attack stat is also pretty garbage on a Graveler. There's the Fire Spin damage though, and there's the Bind damage. Both those moves dealing consistent damage to their respective Pokemon that they're attacking. It's looking good for both teams at the moment. I mean, Graveler's in a bit of a difficult position, but absolutely, this really could go either way at the moment. I don't know who's going to get the first victory at this point. I've got no idea. We see Flash coming out from the regular Marowak onto the shiny Alolan Graveler there, so lowering the accuracy. Turnabout is fair play, I suppose. But what's going to happen? The shiny Marowak is going to go for Vice Grip. Again, that's not very effective on that regular Graveler there. Not much damage done at all, as we see Shiny Graveler gearing up, ready for its next move. What will it choose to attack with? It's going to go for a Stomp, which doesn't affect Marowak. Marowak's immune to normal type moves, so that's a good position for the Marowak team to be in. The regular Graveler is going to go for another Gust. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's doing damage at least. Critical hit on that Shiny Marowak, but not for much damage. There's the Fire Spin damage on the regular Marowak, and there is the Bind damage on the regular Graveler, who's in a very difficult position right now. It's in the danger zone. It's in that red area. It could easily be picked off by one of these Marowak if they just choose the right move. As we see everybody gets ready, what's going to happen in this next turn? We see the regular Marowak, who is going to go for a Vice Grip. Not very effective on the Shiny Graveler this time. Just not doing much damage at all. These Marowak just can't seem to get it together right now. They've got the opportunity to mount great offense. They're just not using it. Here we see a Light Screen protecting against special attacks. Again, these Graveler aren't very gifted at special attacks anyway, so you don't really need to waste a turn on Light Screen. I guess it helps if you're ever stuck on 1 hit point or 2 hit points, but not really worth it. Here's another Gust. We've seen a lot of Gusts in this battle. Graveler seem to really favor Gust in this battle. That's quite interesting. Out of all the moves available in this game, it's weird that Gust keeps coming up. We see a Tri-Attack, but that does not affect Alolan Marowak, so not a great move to use there. That Fire Spin still damaging the regular Alolan Marowak, and that Bind bringing that Graveler even closer to fainting, basically. It's even closer to death. My word, that Bind is not going to be good for Graveler here. As we see Marowak, again, preparing its next turn. What will it do? It's going to go for Fire Punch, which is stab, but it's avoided by Graveler. Oh, that's because of that smoke screen from earlier in the battle. Shiny Alolan Marowak goes for Horn Drill. My word, that is a one-hit KO move. Arguably used it on the wrong Graveler, though. Graveler does go down because it's a one-hit KO, and it did hit. But you would have thought they would have liked to have used it on the other Graveler that didn't have the Bind, which would have knocked it out anyway. We're going to see a Surf, which is avoided by Marowak, but Shiny Marowak is going to take the hit from that super effective Surf. But of course, the Light Screen's up, and the special attack stat just isn't good enough from that Shiny Graveler there, so it wasn't enough to deal a great deal of damage to Marowak. But my word, that Horn Drill was an absolute big balls play. It's just a shame they used it on the wrong Graveler. Didn't really help themselves there. And here we see Payday coming out from the Shiny Alolan Marowak for a not very effective hit on that Shiny Graveler as the coins scatter everywhere. Here comes regular Marowak. What's it got on its mind? It's going to go for Constrict, which again, not going to do a great deal of damage. It's a shame that the Marowak team wasted their one-hit KO move on a Pokemon that was one hit away from being KO'd when you think about it. Fury Attack's not going to affect Shiny Marowak, so that does leave an opportunity for the Marowak team to mount another round of offense against this Shiny Graveler. Graveler really can't afford to make mistakes at this point. It's in a dangerous position being the only Pokemon on its team right now. Regular Marowak is going to go for a Bind. Much the same position that Graveler's partner was in now, stuck in Bind and not able to take these Marowak down. Just constantly picking the wrong moves. Here comes the Shiny Alolan Marowak. What will it do here? It's going to go for Fissure. It is avoided by Shiny Graveler. This Shiny Marowak has evil intentions. It is going for the one-hit KO moves. Here's a Hyper Fang. Again, doesn't affect Shiny Alolan Marowak. And there's the Bind damage taking more effect on Shiny Graveler. Shiny Graveler is in a very difficult place here. It really needs to do something. It really needs to throw a rock or something at Marowak. It needs to, I mean, a Rock Slide would absolutely annihilate the Marowak team at this point. So that's probably the way to go. Here's a Thunder Punch, which is going to be resisted by the Electric type Graveler. Not much damage done there at all. It'd be interesting to see if Graveler... I was going to say, it'd be interesting to see if Graveler and Golem go through. Guillotine! Oh my god! It's going to hit on the Graveler. That's a knockout. Round 1 goes to Alolan Marowak. Oh my word. 2 one-hit KO moves from the same team. That's... Oh my god, that's the MetroMania dream. My word. So now Graveler has got a lot to fight for. I was going to say, it'd be interesting to see if Graveler and Golem go through, but of course Golem already got eliminated in this tournament. Come on, Liam, remember your own brackets. My word. That was incredible. 2 one-hit KO moves in the same battle. The Marowak team are showing no mercy right now. as we see Shiny Marowak is going to start things off for its team on this next battle. Goes for Constrict. Again, not very effective. Not going to do much damage at all there. Tiny little bit of chip damage. Any damage is better than no damage, but could you try and do a little bit more if you're going to try and win this? We see Marowak going for Poison Gas. Oh, and that's going to hit both the Graveler there. Now both the Graveler have a timer on their time in this... A timer on their ability to stay in this battle. They're going to take poison damage at the end of each turn, both of them, and that is not good. They need to... Oh, Fury Attack's not going to affect Marowak. They need to mount some offense and take these Marowak down if they have any hope of equalizing and going into a third round. We see Screech coming out from Shiny Graveler onto Shiny Marowak, which is going to reduce Shiny Marowak's defense by 2 stages. That's not good, but there's the poison damage, which is the real problem for the Graveler team here. Oh, I just realized only one of the Graveler was poisoned, so it's okay. Only Shiny Graveler's poisoned. I can relax now. I love it because you've probably already posted your comment saying only one of the Graveler was poisoned, Liam, but you didn't notice. You're right, I've noticed now. It's all good. Water under the bridge. Guillotine again! Oh my god, these Marowak going for all the one-hit KO moves. Jeez, they mean business. Shiny Marowak going for Spike Cannon. That is not going to be very effective on the Rock-type Graveler, but it is taking a decent beating there with those 3 hits. Not very effective from the Spike Cannon there. Now it's Graveler's turn. It looks like Eevee's on top of Graveler. That's adorable. Here's a Hyper Fang. Not going to affect Marowak. That's not good at all. Got to get away from these normal type moves. There are so many moves in this game that aren't normal or fighting type. We see an Aurora Beam. There you go. Ice type. It's not the greatest, but at least you're thinking outside the box now and not going for the moves that don't do any damage at all. There's the poison damage eating away at Shiny Graveler. This is anybody's round right now. It's still advantage Marowak, I would say, and it's always a bit of an advantage if you're already 1-0 up, because you can feel a little bit of confidence. You can feel like you're in the zone a bit. There's a lot of pressure on the Pokemon that is, 1-0 down. Here we see Tail Whip come out from the Shiny Alolan Marowak there, which is going to reduce the defense 1 stage of each of these Graveler, and lowering the Graveler's defense is a great play, because of course Graveler really prides itself in its defensive stat. Above all others, I would say. And here's regular Marowak who's going for Stomp. That's not going to be very effective, but could result in a flinch, which would work in the favor of the Marowak team. Regular Graveler, of course, obviously not stomped on, so isn't going to flinch at all. Is going to go for Lovely Kiss, but it's going to be avoided by Marowak, so that's unfortunate for that Graveler. No flinch for the Shiny Graveler, who is going to go straight off with a Focus Energy. It wants a critical hit. It wants to take down these Marowak as easily as possible. All it needs is 1 big hit now with a crit as well, and that could take down these Marowak and make it a 1 apiece and go into a third round. But you've got to worry about that poison. That poison is slowly chipping away at that Shiny Graveler. And are we going to see this Graveler succumb to the poison, or is it going to be able to dominate these Marowak? I guess we'll find out. Here's a Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch, of course, not going to be very effective against the Electric-type Graveler there, so that doesn't do much damage at all. But it did more damage than we expected it to because of that defense drop. Here's a Glare. It is going to fail on the poisoned Shiny Graveler there. Forgot its Pokemon's name. Bloody hell. It's going to go for a Glare of its own, though. There you go. That's the definition of turnabout is fair play. Paralyzing the regular Marowak there. That is a good play for the Graveler team. Graveler in a much better position now. Regular Graveler going to go for Ember. Not very effective on a fire type, but again, at least you're doing moves that actually deal damage on these Pokemon. There's the poison on the Shiny Graveler, bringing it even closer to fainting. But paralyzing that regular Marowak is probably a great decision by the Graveler team there. As we see everybody gets ready for the next turn. Everyone's primed. Everybody wants to win. Disable comes out from Shiny Marowak onto the regular Graveler, which means it can't use Metronome for the next few turns. That's disastrous for the Graveler team. That's not good at all. Here we see a super effective Bone Meringue, though, from the Shiny Graveler, doing a great couple of hits there. Oh, that was fantastic. On that regular Marowak, that's what they need to do. Regular Graveler can't move because its Metronome is disabled. Alolan Marowak can't move because it's paralyzed. And there's the poison taking effect. I don't know if Graveler can do enough damage with Struggle to take down the Marowak, so it's really up to Shiny Graveler to try and deal as much damage as possible to both the Marowak there to put them in danger of that struggle. Shiny Marowak, though, is going to go for High Jump Kick, which is super effective on the Shiny Graveler, taking it down. So that dream of taking down the Marowak before the struggle damage kills Graveler, it looks like a foregone conclusion. Graveler is going to have to struggle. It's going to deal a decent amount of damage to Shiny Marowak, but we can already see from the recoil damage that time is not on the side of this Graveler here. Here we see Marowak going for Razor Leaf, which will be super effective on that Graveler. Massive damage, takes it down. Marowak through to the quarterfinals. Critical hit on that Razor Leaf. My word. Alolan Marowak moves on to the quarterfinals to face Alolan Sandshrew. Well done to Marowak. What a victory. Can you believe it? 2 one-hit KO moves in the first battle. That is incredible. That is unprecedented. I don't remember the last time that happened in Metromania, if it's ever happened at all, where one side has got 2 one-hit KO moves and just annihilated the opponent. It was amazing. Marowak, with a really dominant victory over Graveler, moves on to face Sandshrew in the quarterfinals, and I just think, if anyone's going to take out Sandshrew with that steel typing, it's going to be the fire-type Marowak, isn't it? Like, I don't want to sell Sandshrew short, but I feel like it's got a real challenge on its hands. Although, I think out of all the unevolved Pokemon that have been in this tournament, I think Sandshrew has the best chance of overcoming the odds. But of course, that's where I'm going to leave this episode of Metromania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel like these lovely people down here do, please pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainerLiam. And for live streams 5 days a week, head over to twitch.tv/AceTrainerLiam. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.